Hi everyone, welcome to this session. Let's understand what is filter method in JavaScript. So these are the three key points that you need to remember. So filter method iterates over each element in an array. It applies a callback function that returns true for elements to include and false for elements to exclude. And the result is a new array containing only the elements for which the condition is true. So let's understand this by taking an example. So let's say I have this array, okay, and I have these numbers inside the array. Now if I want to write a condition which actually gives back me the result for all the even numbers, okay, so basically I want a subset of this array, but that subset should only include the even numbers. That means 2, 8 and 6 from this array. So basically if you see it in a very straightforward way, I want to filter the data, right, based on some condition. Okay, so in such cases you can use the filter method, and the syntax goes like this: array.filter. So you need to mention your array.filter, and inside that you have to write a callback function, and then inside your callback function you are going to mention your condition or test, and that condition or test is going to get applied on each and every element. Okay, and if that condition comes out as true, then it will return you that number. If that condition comes out as false, then it is going to exclude that number and it is not going to return you that number. Okay, and the last point is that it is not going to modify the original array. Okay, so it creates a new array and it is going to keep all the elements which has passed the test, right, the condition that you have mentioned in the callback function, in that new array, and that is what it returns us. All right, so let's just go ahead and try this out. So I'll copy the syntax from here and then let's just write the syntax. So what is the array name that we have? It's nums, right? So nums.filter. Here let's write a callback function. I'll write a function, and then inside that, although it can take 3 parameters, right, but we only need element right now. So element, you can give any name here, right? It's up to you. And inside this we have to, first of all, we have to use the return keyword, return statement, and then, because as I said, right, we need to mention the condition, and we have to mention the condition for calculating the even number, right? So if any number is divisible by 2, that means it's an even number, right? So that's what we are going to write, and this is going to the first point, right, iterates over each element in an array. That means this callback function, whatever you're going to write here, it will run for each and every element of the array. Okay, so this is basically going to have the value of your array, right? So when it runs for 3, it will have the value as 3. When it runs for 2, it will have the value of 2. So this will hold your number. Okay, so element modulo, sorry, ele modulo 2, if this comes out as 0, that means the number is even, right? So again, like, if we dry run this, so when it will run for 3, so this condition will come out as false. This will return as false. So the moment the condition comes out as false, this method is not going to return you that value. It will not return you anything, because that particular number did not pass the test. And when it will run for 2, that means it will pass the test, because 2 modulo 2 is equals to 0, right? So the moment it passes the test, it will keep that value in the new array that it will form. All right, and similarly it will run for all the elements, and for out of all the elements, whichever passes the test, it will keep on adding to that new array. All right, now let's just go ahead and console this, right? So before that, let's receive this new array in a variable. So const, and then I'll give it a name as even numbers. Okay, and here we can just log the values. So this is what we are going to log, and then let's just save this. So now here you can see I got all the even numbers from here, right? Now let's take another example. So this was example 1. Okay, I'll take another example. This time I'm going to create an object and I will perform a test on the object data. So this is my object, and I want to filter the data out based on whoever has grade greater than 70. Okay, so what I'll do here is, first I'll declare a variable, so const, and I'll say something as passing students. Okay, and then I'll write the filter method. So filter method I have to write on this, right? So this is my data set. So students dot filter. Okay, inside this we need to write a callback function. So function, and then here you can take any element name, right? So I'll just take, like, any name that you can think of. Okay, and then here return. So whoever's grade is greater than 70. Okay, so student dot grade, if it is greater than or equals to 70, then only I want to declare that student as that student has passed the test. Okay, so here I'll just use the semicolon, and that's it. Okay, now if I log this, I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here, and if I save this, you can see there are 3 students who has a grade greater than 70. Okay, and if we check the data, all these 3 have grade greater than 70, and they are the ones who has passed the exam. All right, so this is how you can use filter method. It is very handy whenever you want to filter out something from your data set. All right, now let's convert these 2 examples into arrow function. Okay, so if I check this one out, so this is the callback function that we have written, correct? So in callback function, if you have checked out the last session, we don't need the function keyword, right? So I'll remove the function function keyword. The second thing that we have to do is we have to use fat arrow, right? So is equals to, and then this arrow. After this, because arrow function has an implicit return, so we don't need to use the return keyword. Okay, and also this is a single statement, right, that we have, so we don't need this curly bracket as well. So I'll remove this, and I'll also remove this return statement, and I'll just keep it here. All right, and we don't need this as well. And also because there is only one parameter, so we don't need this parenthesis as well. All right, and then I'll just save this, and you see I'm still getting the result, right? So this was even easier with basically you reduce the lines of code, right, with arrow function. So similarly we can do that here as well, right? So we'll have to remove the function keyword, and because there is only one parameter, so I can remove this parenthesis as well, and then I'll use the fat arrow. And then because there is only one statement, I will remove this, and as because there is implicit return, I don't need to use this as well. All right, and then in that case you also have to remove the semicolon, and if I save this, if you see, I still get the result. Okay, so that's all I had for filter method, and I'll see you in the next one.